Morning. More like afternoon. Not gonna lie. It's not morning anymore. But I went and had coffee with a friend today. Hi, Jamie T. So, yeah, so it's just a little bit later than normal, but don't worry, I'm still here. So today we're going to do one flower from start to finish. Now, you can put these anywhere on your hoops, obviously. Hi, Meg. Oh, lots of people today. I'm going to put mine over here because I've got these like big awkward spaces, and it looks like this side of the hoop is more full than this side. So I'm going to put some little things coming here and maybe one here. I don't know. These are kind of shaped. They look kind of like lavender. So if you think of lavender as being like small towards the top and then kind of a little bit fuller on the bottom. And we're going to use the same technique as this, which is the lazy daisy or detached chain stitch. We're just going to layer them up so they look really nice and full. So you also might notice that I've changed my spot because it is so sunny out today and I still haven't made a new shade. I have to go to Barry's Fabrics in Birmingham and get some new fabric for the new shade. So unfortunately, I've had to move over here, but it's nice and clear, the video, so I think that's all right. All right, let me just move it over, zoom in over here. And like I said, I think I'm gonna do like one, maybe just one over here. Like that. I kind of want to do like one here too. They're a bit straight. That's all right. Hi. Okay. So as always, oh, did I just choose the same color? Man. Let me go get a darker one. That's too close. That's too close to the same color. This might be too bright, but that's all right. Yeah, nice dark color will be fine. Ooh, turkey stitching. Meg says she's just turkey stitching. Do you like it? Or are you not a fan? Turkey work. Okay, so for this one, for the stem, you can do it any way you want. You can make one straight line from there to there. Obviously, we'll cover up some of that at the end. You can do a stem stitch. You can do a whipped back stitch. You can do lots of the stitches that I've taught you already. Split stitch if you want some texture. You could do chain stitch if you wanted even. If you wanted like a thicker line there. These are pretty straight lines, so you could almost get away with just doing one long straight line for each one. I think I'll do... Should I just do one straight line? I'll just do a straight line. Should I overlap it? Make it go like all the way to there? Is that a bit too busy? All of these questions, guys, I can't. I'm gonna go for it. Normally, I would never do that big long of one. I might couch it down later. Oh, did we do couching on this one? We didn't, did we? No, we did couching on the other one. We'll do couching on this one because it can be quite nice. For that matter, I might do one more over here then. Okay. Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud here. So what we'll do, because we haven't done couching yet, actually didn't plan on having anything couched for this one. But that's okay, because we can just make it up as we go. All right, so couching is where you take one thread like this. And do you remember how I said that it's really long ways? I actually hate this table to work on because it has all these little grooves like that, and then the needle always gets stuck in the groove. So you know how I said that this is a really long straight line, and I don't like to have that long of a straight line, that long of one stitch. If this was something that would be like on a tablecloth or a pillowcase, this right here would get moved around a lot. You see how much it's able to move, both of these, whereas all the other stitches, you can kind of rub them a little bit and they won't come off, yeah? Whereas these ones, they move quite a bit. So what we do with those is we tack them down along the way, and that is couching. So all I've done is I've done nice straight lines, and I'm just gonna take one thread from this. So these are all 6, and this is just one. And I'm just going to take some little stitches and stitch them down. You can take 1 or 2 threads, it's up to you. I don't really want to see mine very much, so I'm just going to go for 1. And I'm going to use a smaller needle as well. So couching can be great if you just want, oh, I thought Jessie was out, but she's in. If you just want man, one thread, you gotta tie it like in a knot a million times. All right, so couching is great if you just want one straight line, continuous line with no stitch marks. Yeah, so if I would have done back stitch, there would have been a little stop and start points. So instead of just one long stitch, it would look like 3 stitches or 4 stitches or 8 stitches. But then again, you also don't want like the twistiness of the whipped back stitch or the twistiness of the stem stitch or the texture of one of the other stitches like split stitch. So it's going to look just like this when we're finished. It's just that it won't have the ability to move around like that. Yeah? So I've done these straight lines. For mine, I want them to be straight. If you want them to be curved, then you're going to want to not tie it at the end. You're going to want to do 1. And then as you're doing it, you'll do the tacking. And then at the very end, you'll put down the 6 thread needle and tie it on the back in whatever shape that you had it go. So you can do circles, you can do curved lines, you could do straight lines. It's totally up to you. So this is movable. And all we're going to do is every so often stick it down. So I've just come up here and I'm going to go down right on the other side of that line to literally just stick it down in place. Now, of course, I've chosen the wrong color because you can't see the dark threads as well as if this were a light colored thread. So hopefully you can tell just by where I'm going up and where I'm going down. I'll find that tape measure. Here's one. Can you tell a little bit better? So there's one right there and there's one right there. For some reason, when I put something dark on the screen, it makes everything else lighter. So that's why I keep doing this. So there's one here and there's one here. So I'm just going to keep going every so often. I'm trying to keep them even. So I don't want to put like one here and then like one way down here. I want to try and keep them even. And I'm just tacking this line down. Hi, Jenny. And with this, we don't want to pull too tightly. And you don't want to try to like manipulate the line in any kind of way. because wherever you tack it down, that's where it's going to stay. So if you make it a little bit of a curve, you'll kind of tack it as you're going by holding down the thread and tacking it down. I'll get the tape measure out again in just a minute, and you can see. And we're just making really little stitches, so they're just literally the width of this thread. And we really don't want them any thicker, or else you'll see, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Or else you'll see the actual stitches more. So let me put it back up here again for you. So I've got here, 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 all the way down. And then this right here is where I ended. So now you can see this line doesn't move, whereas these ones do. Like I said, it's okay for, Jessie's not happy. She's like, shut up. You just talk so much. So they're good for straight lines or curved lines. I know on the paid stitch along we did. Hello. I just said it was paused due to poor connection. What? Maybe that's why I need to do it in the other room. I bet you this isn't going to save now. Oh, I'm going to be so mad. I'm going to be fuming if this is not saved because of that. Oh my God. Can you guys still see and hear me? Okay, thank you, Lindsay. Thank God. I bet you it won't save now. I'm going to be so mad if this decides not to save because of that. Last time someone called me in the middle of the live, and then that's why it didn't save. So I was like, don't call me. Nobody call me. Just text. Just text me if you need me. Otherwise, don't call me. So yeah, you're going to want to keep your stitches small. You can totally see where the stitches are. They're just these little, that's the width. You want to keep them really small, just the width of your thread. Okay, so I've couched those down. Now we can go back to what we've done before, and that is the Lazy Daisy stitch. So I'm gonna start, I've got two colors here. One is like a dark purple, and the other one's like a little bit lighter. I'm gonna start with the lighter color. And if you need to, you can draw the shape of the flower on. And it's just gonna be a bunch of these kind of loops. Like that. Should I do some more? Yeah. Like that. And these are just a guideline because we're actually going to have to, we're not going to do just one set of each. We're going to have to overlap them. So you'll have some that kind of go over in the middle of these. I just can't draw them very well. That one will just be a little baby one. Okay. So for this one, I'm going to take 3 strands. And obviously you can do it a little bit differently if you'd like. It's quite warm over here. But I have a long sleeve shirt on, so I can't take it off. Okay, and like all lazy daisies start, we've got a knot on the end. Now with these, we're gonna do a couple lazy daisies or detached chain stitch. And then we're gonna do a couple that kind of scatter down into here. So they won't actually be connected to anything. They'll just be like kind of scattered down. And then we'll mix in the darker color with that so that it kind of looks like it's like a ombre. So I've just got 3 strands now. I'm just gonna say as a reminder, because I've seen a couple hoops lately that are not very tight. So let's all just take a minute and tighten up our hoops, because we do not want to see loose fabric in our hoops. Now these ones, they're going to be overlapping a little bit, or at least touching. So I kind of like to do a set of 3. 1, 2, and then 1 on the other side as 3. Really close together at the top. And then 1 to kind of overlap the bottom of that point that we've just made. So see how they're really close together? We're going to do 1 more right in the middle, kind of half. And it's going to go right in the middle. So you're going to have to go up through these ones that you just made. Don't be scared. And that's going to give it an overlapping little effect. So we're going to continue this down. So I like to do, like I said, 2 before I said 3, because I've done 3 for the tip. And then I'm going to do 1 on each side. And 1 in the middle. I've got the knot right there. And then after these 2, and then the 1 in the middle, we're going to start to kind of like scatter them down a little bit. So here's the middle one. And stitch right over that stem that we just made. So here's what I mean about scatter them down. They're not going to actually touch any of the ones that we've already made. They're just going to be like 1 right here, and then 1 maybe down a little bit farther, and that's it. And then we can go back in with the darker color and kind of mix them up as well. Now, sometimes I'll do a straight line in here like we did for, let me move it over, these ones. So you can mix the colors up. So you can do like a dark line in the lighter colored ones and a light line in the darker colored ones if you want to. Or you can just leave them as loops. So as always, I'll probably show you this one. And then you can have a go on the other ones, because not everyone will have 3. You might only have 1 on your hoop. It just depends on what space that you needed to fill. So I'm going to end that one for now. I'm going to get the other color and then go back in with the darker color to kind of scatter them at the top, and then use the darker color to fill in the bottom. Just trying to not let my needle go into those grooves. I do like this table, but it's not very good for embroidery. It is a nice big long table, but because of all of the grooves in it, my needle always falls in, and then it like takes ages to get out. All right, so I've just gotten the other color, which is that darker purple that I showed you earlier. Sorry guys, I totally haven't been looking at the screen, so hopefully no one's asked questions. And I didn't say hi to any of the people who came in. Naughty. Okay. All right, so I'm just gonna stick this right up in there. And remember, we're just going right over that. We're going over the whole stem. This might have been too dark of a color, but that's okay. I'll show you how to blend them a little bit more by putting the lines inside the loops, because I feel like that's probably gonna need it. I didn't realize how dark this color was when I chose it. And don't forget the ones in the middle, because those ones kind of make it look like you didn't just stick some things off the side. It makes it look like a nice 3D one. And I'm gonna say it again. If you would like to just stick 2 off each side like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, of course you can. But I'm making mine a bit more like full. Oh, thank you. Is it Becca? She said, loving the colors. These always remind me of lavender. All right, so I'm gonna do one more set of just 2, 1 on each side, 1 in the middle, and then this one will be finished. And I'll put the tape measure back on so you can see the colors a bit better. Ridiculous. That one's a bit far down. Maybe I will have to do another one on the other side. And like some of you will have to do more stitches than others, and that's fine. Like you don't have to do the exact same number of stitches. Some people will have more gaps to fill in their hoop, so they'll choose to add more flowers in different places. So please don't look at someone else's hoop and go, oh, hers is like so much better, or hers looks so different, or I only did 1 of those flowers and she did 4. Like, why? That's just what she chose. Don't worry. Or he. They. I'm just going to snip it off and then put this dark thing up so you can see a little bit better. So there we go. So these kind of lavender-ish looking things, what do we think? So I'll continue with this one and this one. I won't do them now. I'll let you guys suss it out yourselves if you want to add more or less. But you have the tools. Oh, I said I would show how to do the straight lines. Sorry. But yeah, you guys have the tools now that you can choose the stem that you want on this flower, whichever stem that you like to do the most, whether it be the whipped back stitch or the stem stitch, split stitch, straight stitch, back stitch, brick stitch. What else? Chain stitch. That could also be a nice straight line. And then tomorrow we're going to add some leaves off of here, and we're going to fill it up more. So if you've got big holes or gaps, like I've got one over here that totally needs something, I'll show you how to do that as well. So what I mean by putting some straight lines in the middle is that because these 2 colors are so different. It kind of looks like you could like slice it in half and have two different flowers, like just to kind of make those blend in a little bit better. You can do a little straight line, a little straight stitch inside each of these loops that we've just done, only for the lighter colors. Of course, you could go back with the light color and put it inside all the darker colors as well, if you really wanted to. But I find that sometimes if I haven't got the color just right, like maybe they're two colors away instead of one color away. By colors, I mean shades. You can add a little straight stitch in each one. One, it fills them up a little bit, and two, it kind of blends the colors a little bit more as well. I've just got one more to do. Yeah, it does make it look quite pretty. So like I said, you could go back with the lighter color, which I should probably do now because now I've done the darker color. Probably should do it to the lighter. Oh, Jesus, now I have to do this. Look what I've done, guys. Okay, hold on. I'm putting the light color back on. Because I can't just do one thing, can I? I have to do like 50,000 things all together. Someone said, ooh, that's pretty. Cute touch. Wouldn't have thought of this. Rachel says, so pretty. Thank you. Okay, I'll go back in with the lighter color. Now it'll look cohesive. Don't get me wrong, it looked fine before, but leave it to me to add like 5,000 more things to what I'm stitching. I can't just leave it how it is, you know? Like, let's add glitter thread. Let's add some variegated ones. Let's do 5,000 more steps than we need to. And really, like, it only takes a second, so it's not like, you know, it's like such a huge time thing. Come on. Stitch is Gonna Stitch says, it's worth it all, Tori. It looks gorgeous. Oh, thank you. But I guess that's like the joy of doing this, is that you can add all the details or you can only just do the one thing. Like, it's totally up to you. So like, you can go super big or you can just do what you're comfortable with, and both are fine. There's no wrong way, no right way. Although this still looks really dark, so I feel like maybe I'm missing somewhere. Like, maybe I didn't make these like long enough. They're fine. All right, so here we go. There's how it looks when it's finished. So tomorrow, we're going to do French knots. So we're also going to do French knots on the paid stitch along. So I'll probably end up doing 2 videos, which are pretty much the same thing. I'll just show you where to put them on this one and where to put them on the other one. Because again, like the queen of choice, you can choose to put them wherever you want. I'm going to show you on a different hoop how to do French knot with kind of 1 strand, 3 strands, 6 strands, 12 strands, and then 1 wrap, 2 wrap, 3 wraps, and then you can see for yourself how the different thicknesses are, and how big the knots make, because 1 wrap is a small knot, 3 wraps is a big knot. 1 wrap on 1 strand is a very, very small knot, but 3 wraps on a 12 strand is a really, really big knot. So it's kind of good to kind of make one of these little grids. So if you've got an extra hoop, doesn't matter the fabric, doesn't matter the color you use, if you've got an extra hoop, I highly recommend doing a French knot sampler. You can do it with me tomorrow, or you can do it afterwards at a different time. But it is important because it's really good to know how many to do. And then from there, after we do the French knot day, we'll do the filling day. So like I said earlier, I've got a big gap here that I want to put stuff on. There's a couple stems that don't have leaves on them. There's some like little odd places in here. So we'll fill all those in. So I hope that you have a lovely, lovely Wednesday. I'm going to go and do the paid stitch along one. And yeah, I'll see you a bit later. So if you've just joined, hold on and come on to the next one, because I'm just about to stop filming. All right, enjoy your day. Bye.